everyone, my name is Alex Pinto from Poltava, Ukraine, and I bring to you this time a kind of information with a movie that I believe it's everything that everybody wants to know, that has to be with Ukrainian women, how they think, how they are raised, their education, their goals in life, and what they aspire for life. For that, I will have a special guest. That is our friend Brandon, that already had some experience along with us, and I believe he will be the best person to represent all of those there that have the questions to put. So we believe that we gathered the most important ones, and for this we will have with us Olga, we will have with us Lucy, and we have with us Ksyusha. They represent more or less the same age, but they have different experience in life, and they will share with us and try to make us understand and comprehend all these doubts that we have in our minds. So let's try and start it.
Family values that your family taught you. What do foreign men have that local men don't have? Are local men so bad as they are talked about? How much time is it needed to build a solid relationship? What is your idea about being a foreigner's wife? And how will your family face it? What is the importance of children in your family? How do you define a good lifestyle abroad? What is your true opinion about having an older husband? What age difference is acceptable for you? What is your opinion about living in a foreign country at your husband's expenses? How do you face divorce in your life? How important is for you to work? In which condition is it acceptable for you not to work and stay home raising kids?
Hi guys, I'm Brandon, and if you're watching this video, then there's a good chance I was in the exact same chair you are 18 months ago. I came to Poltava in October of 2011, and I met my future fiance, Ksyusha. So what I'd like to do tonight is go through the questions that I personally had before going on this trip, just to give you guys some insight into what really goes on when you're 6,000 miles away from home. So ladies, my first question, when you think back to your life as a child, what was important to you growing up, and were those values instilled in you by your family or through your education?
First of all, we all are taught to be a woman, to always have family values and to have a family in life, because here for people it's very important, and not even the careers that are important on the West and self-success or whatever. People and women, of course, here are oriented on the family. They want to have the person that they can live their life with. They want to have children. They want to be happy in the family. Those that is outside the family, something that comes with work, is on the second plan. First of all is to have the stable life at home, and all the rest follows. That's what's important for the woman here.
It doesn't mean that the career is not important for our women. Of course, some women here are concerned about being successful at work as well, but this is never goes, it never matters more for Ukrainian or Russian women to be successful at work and don't pay attention to the family, because family goes first. That's the way we taught from our mothers and our families. They teach us and they taught us to live in love, respect, mutual understanding, and this is what and that's really important, to raise kids, to love your husband, to create a cozy home, cook nice dishes, and be a good wife and good mother. That's what vital, and that's what important here.
So are you saying you have no aspirations for a career, or to just take a back seat to family?
No, I didn't say that. Actually, what I was trying to say was that we pay attention to our work, but it's not like in some Western countries, like till 35 we are concerned only about a career and family somewhere on the back seat. It's opposite. We try, what is special about Ukrainian women is they always try to combine and to be like, a soldier for war and for peace, you know, be able to manage on both sides, family and work. So, but preferably family, because at the age of their 20s, women, girls start realizing that they need to find a special man, they need to get married, give birth to children and raise them. And of course, after kids grow up a bit and they go to kindergarten and school, the women come back to their workplaces and they work, because it's hard for people, well, for everyone, I guess, everywhere, to build a family budget only on men's shoulders. So women help with that financially, and it's important for a woman to be busy and to be successful somewhere outside the home, so she feels complete. I mean, the personality. So she realizes that the family is not the only thing that she could do, like raising kids, cooking, cleaning. It's not everything she could do. She could do much more, and she could be successful at work and be a good wife at the same time.
Well, all three of you ladies have experience with foreign men, either working with as a client or dating. What differentiates foreign men from local men?
A foreign man has a different background from the local man, and it's just difference of character, difference of the things they also raised upon. They're looking for different things. Like on the outside and the way they act, it may seem the same, but they think differently. That's the main aspect.
I cannot say that what they have or don't have. We're just looking for the man who will love you and we feel to him.
So, one thing that we get a lot, especially if you're looking at the dating sites in the United States, they talk about how bad Ukrainian men are, Russian men. They talk about the drinking, the drugs, the smoking. Are Russian, or more importantly, Ukrainian men really as bad as they are portrayed in the United States, Australia, and Canada?
Oh, I don't think so. Actually, it's one of the myths you guys face on these dating sites or somewhere, because that's easy to just say bad things about our man and to find it as a main reason why Ukrainian women try to find a man from overseas. Actually, you can find a drinking guy or a guy who takes drugs or who beats his wife in every country. This is just about the personality, not about the country necessarily. So, of course, we have here, as everywhere, I emphasize this, men who abuse alcohol, drugs, and who treat their women badly. But as well, we have actually very good men here too, who are perfect husbands, good fathers, and who raised us. Actually, if we had just bad men, who would raise us? These girls of your dreams, which you want, who you want to meet, who you want to get married, and etc., etc., etc. This is not true. I wouldn't agree with that statement.
I cannot say that they are bad or good. Every people, they are always good.
So if everybody is good, then why even consider dating a foreign man?
It's not the point. I haven't ever met a woman who is just has one point on her list that I should marry a foreign guy or I should look for a foreign guy. That's just the option, because a girl, when she's at her 20s or when she's even 18, some girl wants really to get married earlier, some want that later or whatever. So when the girl starts to think about creating a family and meeting that special person, she has different options. She can go out here or meet someone at the university where she studies or at workplace or anywhere, but as well she considers this option, this opportunity to meet a foreign guy as another option of meeting the special person, because you never know where you find one. It can be 1,000 miles away and it can be next to your door. That's not the point about just be concerned about the foreigner.
So following up with that concept, if you're dating both the foreign men and the guys next door, realistically, how long does it take to build a solid relationship if you were dating a foreign guy?
the relationship with foreigners, it's harder and longer to build that because of the distance correspondingly and the time difference, and because it's not with the real communication but it is the internet dating for the beginning. It's chatting, it's talking, it's Skype, whatever you use. First you talk just on the internet, get to know, you decide to meet, then he comes and he can spend the week here and then he goes back, of course, because he has his life there and he has his work there. So and then you continue talking on the internet. For each couple it's different. I mean, the amount of time you got chatting on the internet, then you met, and how many times you met. It depends on you guys. Maybe there are some, like, I would call it speed dating or something like that, or speed marriages, like people talk for 2-3 months and they get married, and some people keep talking on the internet for years, and after 2, 3, 4 years after that they get married. It's different for every couple.
So Susha, I happen to know your fiance, and I know that you dated for just about a year before you got engaged. Would you say that's too short, too long, the right amount of time? What's your opinion on it?
I think that it takes all your life to create a good relationship, because we should try all our life to be a good person to each other.
To really know the person is, as Olga said, it takes longer when you are at distance, because again, the distance and the mails and the thoughts that you have, that you build the image of the person. And while if you have somebody locally, then you can just go out with the person and feel and know the answers to all your questions. That's why it's taking longer, I think.
I'm going to ask an off-topic question because Lucy brings up a good point. And gentlemen, what she talks about is you get to know someone over Skype, via emails. What I'd like to do is spend just a few minutes talking about how you can have one idea of a person in your mind, and then when you finally meet them face to face, they're a different person. And there are some good things and some bad things to that, but I want to caution everybody watching this video that you can't build a relationship over online just doing that way. And Lucy, Olga, and Susha have had experience with that. So if you would, just tell us some of the things you've experienced versus online versus in the real world.
When it's only online, as I said, that you build the image in your head that the person doesn't necessarily need to be the way that you imagine them to be. But you don't know that. You just see the picture, you maybe, if you're lucky, you talk on Skype or whatever, voice chat, and based on that you create some expectation about the person, and then you follow it and then you believe it. And when you meet the person may not be what you imagined. And then you have two options. Either you meet them and it turns out exactly how you thought and you're happy, or you meet them and something changes and you don't like that person that much anymore. And that's because when we're dealing with a relationship, with people's feeling, it's about the feeling. It's about, like, when you are with the person, that you feel that something connects. Via internet, it's not possible to feel that connection. Well, ultimately, you can do it only when you meet the person.
Yeah, so that's the point here is, of course, first, if you are a foreigner and she's from Ukraine, of course, the option for you to get to know each other or to come across each other's profile and start chatting. But you just should pretty well realize, guys, that you cannot date online for the rest of your life. And then to come up after 2 years and say, hey, would you marry me? That's not going to happen ever. So if you really like the girl and she really likes you, you should meet in real life and to see whether your expectation comes true or whether it fails and you are disappointed at the end and you go and keep looking for someone else who is better for you. So don't waste your time on internet. I mean, don't waste too much time on internet. So take the time which is necessary to you to find out the information you need to chat, to see at least some basic character features and values of a lady, and she sees the same of you. And then if you have no desire to come here ever, well, and if she has no desire to meet you in real life too, that's not going to happen. If you really want to build a relationship, you should come and see and meet each other.
I would like to add here that many people, they just sit online and they just write letters and they create the world in their heads, and they never come, they just correspond with this one, with that one, and they live by that, it's okay. But internet for the dating is just means to find the person, to find out what you need about the person, and then go meet them. That's the best way.
So if you were to meet the right guy, and you decided that you wanted to marry this guy, and we're planning to move back to his country of origin, how would you face that decision, knowing that you'd be 6,000 miles away or even 9,000 miles away from everything you've ever grown up knowing? How do you plan to face that, and what does your family feel about that?
It is very hard to leave your family, but if you love somebody, you can go through 6,000 miles away and live with him all your life, where the home is, where your husband lives, and the family always support their daughter to go with her husband.
Yeah, because actually my mom, and I think every mom, just wants her daughter and her son and her child to be happy. And of course she would feel easier, and you will feel easier to stay here in your city, in your country, and have all your friends and relatives next to you. But sometimes it happens that you meet someone who is 9,000 miles away, and of course you will go because with him, and it's not the person, it's the place actually, you know, and you can feel happy everywhere you are with the right person for you. If you really love and you really want to be with this person, you will do that.
I would like to add here also, in consideration of the first question about the family values. We can see it here very well, that if the daughter meets somebody that she falls in love, and that somebody happens to live miles away, that the parents will support it, because family values are most important.
Yeah, that's very strong. You can see it from this. Yeah, that's a good point to use it.
So have any of you three actually had that conversation with your family? And
Yes.
how did it go?
Oh, of course. Yes, I can. Well, it was like, first, of course, every mom is shocked because even if she had imagined that before, that it is possible, this variant is possible, but she had never thought that you will tell her, yeah, that it could be for real for your family and for you. Of course, first reaction is shock for every mother, for every father, for every family. But then, of course, they meet your fiancé, they meet your future husband, and they see that you love him and he loves you and you are doing great together. So then they support that, then they get used with this thought and they go through that.
The first question my mom was, do you love him? Yes, I love him. Then you can go.
That's fair enough.
That's fair enough.
That's enough.
Yes.
Did any of you happen to tell your mothers that you were searching for a foreigner, or was it something that once the possibility became a reality that you decided to talk to them about?
My mom knew about that from the very beginning.
Or to clarify, when you joined an agency or went to a social or had the idea, were you discussing it with your parents at that point, or did you wait until you actually met a guy before you told your parents, oh, by the way, I've been kind of contemplating dating foreigners?
Well, I just told her the very day when I went to the photo shooting for the agency that I'm going to join the agency, and maybe one day I will meet someone. Who knows? Well, life is life, you know. You never know what it brings. So it was like that, and she didn't take it seriously at that moment because she just thought maybe it's something to try, but it's not going to happen ever. But I told from the very beginning about the idea.
Our family is the best friend for us, so they know everything about us.
Yeah, that's the other point about family values. So we share
Yeah.
with our moms, and for I would say for maybe 90% of girls here, their mom is the best friend. So we share all things.
Yeah, families are close here.
Putting the shoe on the other foot, when a guy tells his friends and family that he's contemplating dating overseas, the question I always get is why? Did you get that question from your moms?
There's
I
no
don't
why. It's like if you're trying to find a person, all their ways are good. The good person for you may live in any part of the world.
Maybe in Africa, in Australia, in the US, wherever. You never know.
If it happened, it happened. You can meet somebody, you can meet your love in library or in the street. Why not agency?
Yeah.
Well, maybe not your mom, but maybe your friends. Did anyone ever tell you that you were crazy for contemplating this?
No. Girls, I don't think a lot of girls here who use agency help to find a fiancé, a boyfriend, tells to male friends about that. But female friends, they take it okay because many of them try it too, so that's common. That's not
That's
something
common.
outrageous.
It's probably less common in the West. That's
Than
why
here.
people think it's crazy. Here, no, here it's common.
It's not
so
crazy,
okay.
it's normal.
What would you consider to be having a good lifestyle if you were to move overseas?
Well, I think the same thing as we consider a good lifestyle here. What is good lifestyle? For everyone it's different. Of course, if you are born in a rich family and you used to have expensive toys from your childhood and you used to have expensive education and clothing and everything, this is a good lifestyle for you. This is normal lifestyle for you and you take it for granted because you are used to that from the very beginning. Some people used to something less because they are born in simple families, so which have normal life, have shelter, have food, have clothing, education, whatever. When we grow up and we get our education, we get our job, we get some lifestyle here too. Normal lifestyle is having shelter, food, clothing, medical care, entertainment, once a year vacation, maybe more often, and being happy and satisfied and feeling comfortable where you are. That's a normal lifestyle. I don't know. Maybe yours would add something here, but
The normal lifestyle is when you have, as they say, when you have the bread on the table, when you have the
roof under you.
above your head. So when you have a bed to sleep. Yeah. Actually, it's people care not so outrageously here about this. Like a girl here, if she goes to the homeland of her husband, and if she's happy with him, then she's even ready to downsize her lifestyle a little bit. Because she loves him, she wants to be with him. It's not the chase for the wealth. No, here is still.
Yes, and the other point is if two people actually love each other and they work together and they look at the same direction and they want to build something, they plan to buy a new car, they plan to buy a new house, whatever, and they work together to get that. And it's much more important than just marrying a fortune and getting all that at once, because you never appreciate that afterwards. You will appreciate that only in case that you know what it costed for you both. The effort, the time you spend on that, maybe some things you didn't afford yourself while you were saving money for buying something bigger, and you respect each other after that, and you help each other, and you are strong together. That's the way to build a strong family. For myself, I imagine that like that.
It is, of course, how you look, it's important, but when you married to some guy, it's more important to be happy with him and make him happy.
And those are all very good and valid points. I guess to drive the question a little bit further, if you were to find the guy and marry him, go back to his home country, depending on the country and the laws there, you're going to be dependent on him for the first couple of years. Do you take him at face value? Do you do any kind of investigating? Do you do a search to see if he really can take care of you those first couple of years?
Well, it's actually the first time I hear that. Do you want to tell that she is not able to work during first 2 years or something like that?
More specifically, depending on the profession. For example, Susha's a dentist. She can't just go and practice until she's approved by the ADA, and that process takes a couple of years. During that time period, she's going to be dependent on her husband to make sure that he has a means to provide. And you talked about the things that you need, the basics. Is there any way that you guys, in the course of dating, ask little questions or things you might do to try to verify what his income or what his means might be?
Well, of course you wouldn't ask directly how much do you earn per month or per year. That would be stupid and ridiculous, and we are brought up in different ways, so we are not used to ask these questions actually, because even to our friends, you know, we never face up our friends and ask, hey, Katya, how much do you earn per month?
By the way.
And yeah, by the way, it's not like that. We never ask those kind of questions, but of course every woman needs to feel secure. For me, I realized that if I see the man, if I date a man and he is responsible in his behavior, he treats me a good way, I realized that if a man offers marriage to a woman, he takes the responsibility of her, and he wouldn't try to find somewhere miles away, come here, spend his time, money on visits, on everything, not to be able to, you know, to make his living with her there. And responsible man, he wouldn't lie about that.
Besides, when in the process when you're dating, you can see a little bit of something.
Yeah.
How he is, how he behaves,
Yeah, even
how he saves money or not. Yeah, you can see.
Yeah, even little things like, you know, going out or something, that's life, and it's the same for local man, for foreign man, for everybody. That's just in humans' behavior, and you see that. You cannot investigate his bank account, you know. It's like, and it would be ridiculous because it's the point of trust as well. If you don't trust someone, why to build a family with this person?
Speaking of building a family, of our panel, how do you feel about children?
That's important to have them. Why would we live if we don't give birth to children? If we don't have anyone to live for except the husband, you know? Of course you are happy together, and maybe for first few years of your marriage you would just enjoy yourself together, maybe traveling, maybe just doing whatever you like. But at some point you will come to the question of giving birth to children and raising them, and because it's the point and it's the thing that every family should have.
Again, the connection to the first question. That is what our families teach us. It's like the atmosphere in the family, that children are important, that families have to have children, that woman has to have a child. It's like so feminine. It's
It's like the first vacation for a woman here.
The most important thing the woman has to have is a child.
So across the board,
that's what they teach us.
So to each lady, real quick, yes or no, and do you feel that it's indicative of Ukrainian women? Do you want to have children?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
It is very important.
If you meet the man that you will want to have children from.
With.
Yes.
So considering that children are an important part of family life, and all three ladies on the panel want to have children, what's the acceptable age difference, in your opinion?
Maybe someone would be shocked or someone would be not, but 35 years, and that's an experience to have, of course, but now I realize that acceptable for me is not more than 15. Now I have a man I'm dating with, and he's 11 years older than me, and this is, I think, for me, it's the perfect age difference. Because the bigger gap you have, I mean in age, the harder it is to get on with the person. It's like dating your father. I would describe it like that. At some point it is good because older men, they are more caring, they treat they treat you like a daughter, like a little girl, and they're very caring and attentive. But at some point, you know, when you want to, well, we are young, and being at my 20s, that's normal if I want to go out to the club or wherever. And I realized that he goes with me only because he went with me there, because only I wanted that. And it was hard for him to stay up till 1 a.m. and he looked like he's going to die in 10 minutes because he was drinking. Well, I don't mean like die really, but because he felt maybe bored, he wanted to sleep, and he was drinking Red Bull or coffee all the time. He never told me that it's hard for him to do that, but I saw that and I realized that. This is one question, and the question we discussed just a few minutes ago about children. In this situation, it's impossible, of course. Well, almost impossible. Maybe some miracle would happen, but just biologically, we all realize that. Even for women, there is an age, there is some age limit for being a mother, and as well for a man, there is some age limit to be able to become a father. So this is one minus. The other minus is that it's hard. You have different interests at some point. Well, I mean, you can have different interests from the person of your age as well, but at the perception of life use and life perception, it's hard. So that's just for some guys. I know you all at your 40s, 50s and 60s, sometimes even that, want to meet a young girl of your 20s and you think it's going to happen and you will happy. Well, it's hard and it's almost impossible. So take the generation gap as a problem, not as a challenge, because it's not a challenge actually, or it's a very hard challenge to take. The bigger age difference you have, the harder it is to build a relationship, because you will always think one day she will realize she needs someone younger, she will leave you, or you will realize you are not able to bear her energy and being active, and it will not work out.
Susha, how much older than you is your fiance, and how old would you have gone dating wise?
It may happen to somebody, but I think that the difference between ages must be 10, 15 years.
And is that primarily just because of the physical features, or is it more of how would it fall into the family life if a father's 55 years old and has a newborn child, because that is something you want? Is that what plays into it? How could this man be a father to a young child, or is it just more of after a certain point you're just not attracted to an older guy?
No, if difference, for example, 30 or 40 years between them, it can be, because probably you feel something to this person, but physically you cannot have a child, you cannot do something else, I don't know.
Have any of you ladies ever been divorced, and do you think that experience is going to affect your future life?
When we decide to get married, we never think about divorce. I was divorced, I was married already, but he scared me and I was scared to marry again, but we never think about divorce. Can you think about divorce to your family? I mean, mother or father, you was born in this family and you cannot change anything. You decide to marry him, and how do you think about divorce?
Yeah, when you start a family with the person, you kind of make it special. Yeah, you're sure about it, and you make it like that this is your husband and you will live with him. And how even can be a thought of divorce? If you have this thought, you don't get married to this guy, end of. And if you get married to the guy, then as they say, enjoy in sorrow. That's how it's supposed to be.
Do you want to pursue a career, and how important is work to you?
It is important, of course, because it gives you self-confidence, it gives you believing that you are not only successful at home, being a good wife and good mother for kids if you have them, but that you can do something else which helps other people. As for me, I'm working as a teacher and I would like to continue this career because this is a good thing to do, to share your knowledge with others and especially with kids, because you don't only educate kids at home of your own, but you help someone else, children, to learn new things, to get educated, and working is important, I guess, for every woman everywhere. Of course, there are some women who prefer just being housewives, and this is okay. That's just about personal choice and life perception. I mean, it's okay for me if my friend is housewife and if she enjoys that. But for myself, I would prefer having at least a part-time job. So I go out of the house, I have some life out of the house too. I have my colleagues, I talk to people, I learn something new every day too, and I develop and grow as a personality. So for me, it's important.
Self-realization is important, I would say.
Yes.
Yes, for me, important question about your family, your husband and your children for the first place, and if you decide with your husband, if he is agree, you can work, why not?
Do you ladies work out of, would you say, more a desire to work or more of a need to work?
It's more of, I guess, self-realization thing. You just need to do something in life. You can't just roam around the city and do nothing and just hang around and you just
be useless for society.
Yeah, you need to strive for something. You need this thing that you want to do. You are in it and you're busy with something. That's the natural need for a human, I think.
Yes, for our people, I mean, for Ukrainians, it's like a life fact that women work, being married and having kids, sometimes even 2-3 kids in the family. My mother, I remember her all her life she's working, and she will work till she gets retired, and she loves her job too. I mean, that's the lifestyle for our women, for our women, because well, at some point here it's because of the need. Of the financial situation in the country and everything, but anyways, the majority of women actually want to work and need not only because of money, but because of self-realization and their aims and goals and dreams.
All three of you ladies say you want kids, and raising kids is a lot of work. How do you balance between the two?
Yes,
and is it just flat out, do you just stay home? Is it acceptable not to work and raise the kids?
It is acceptable. Well, as for me, I think that 3 years it's necessary to sit at home with a child he or she is 3 years old at least.
Because in Ukraine we are given 3 years for maternity leave.
Yes, and at 3 years we can give the child to the kindergarten. I would give my child to a kindergarten because not only because I want to work, but I find it better for a kid to be surrounded with other kids and to be educated with tutors, teachers, and to get used being in society. Of course, it's a society of little tiny humans, of kids, but in this way, kid is getting prepared for school and for the life. For the life. So.
Some families just have no time to raise children and for their husband. So if you work, 2 works, 3 works, you work all night, all day. So.
Yeah, but having a kid is 24 hours job, of course. And you don't have shifts here, you know, you don't work 8 hours.
Shifts with your husband, maybe. Shifts with the husband.
Well, maybe, but if he works and he comes tired, he will just fall asleep at some point. But I think it's a good idea to give these 3 years completely to a child and stay at home with a child and give him education, take care of him, her, and then give him to a kindergarten and spend evenings and mornings with him.
And given that mothers and families in the general here don't like nannies and don't resort to hiring nannies because it's important for the kid to be with the mom.
Of course, because they will think that nannies it's their mom.
Yeah, well, not only that, but it's just the family thing that they're so close. You see, again, point number one.
And the other question is about the proficiency of the nanny.
So conclusion that children and husband more important than other things.
Yes, but family values.
Well, you mentioned the 3-year mark, and that's my understanding is because in Ukraine,
Yes.
they'll hold your job for 3 years.
Yeah, maternity leave.
In the West, it's not 3 years; it's 2 to 3 months, depending upon the company, which they will give your job to someone else. Does that change the equation for you? Do you say I'll go back to work sooner, or do you say, you know what, I'll start this process of a career and a job all over again 3 years from now?
I will start it all over again after 3 years.
That is crazy. How they can do this to people?
2-3 months. It's just important. It's impossible. I mean, not important. It's just
There you go. Where we have our family values from. 3 years with mom.
even our government gives us 3 years,
Yeah,
and you give
for the
just
family
2-3
values.
months. It's different and it's strange. It's too short.
One of the things the internet sites tell us about Ukrainian women is that they are basically the perfect modern woman. They are the perfect wife, the loving mother, the sexy mistress behind closed doors, and a whiz in the kitchen. Is there any truth to that, or is it just internet hype?
It is true.
Really
Oh,
yes.
Ukrainian women love to cook and they love to be a woman to their man. They like to be the woman, to preserve all these traditions. They, as we already talked before, they don't put the work in the first place and they stay in the family. I think that's what drives it all.
Yeah, and this is the way we are brought up, and this is what we see in our own families when we are little girls. We see our mom in the kitchen early in the morning, then late at night, and she's always cooking something tasty for all the family. And on weekends, all the big family gathers together, and we have these family dinners or suppers, wherever. And then we see her cleaning, we see her doing laundry, we see her doing ironing and taking care of everything. Well, of course, sometimes that helps her. It differs for every family. I mean, some men do that job, some men don't. I guess it's the same everywhere, not only here. But it's natural as you take your parents as a model, a role model for your own behavior, for your future life, and of course we are the same.
What we see when we're kids, that's what we try to do.
Wow, that's quite an interesting picture you ladies paint for us. So you're saying that the guy will never do any of those chores in your marriage?
Well, in any family, I think there are some roles, and it's wrong to think that like you take out the garbage from the house, you clean the floors, you clean the dishes. It's just who has time for this, and it's not necessarily a woman's thing.
Well, I wouldn't agree that completely. Well, of course, I would love my husband help me about the house, but I wouldn't make him do washing up or laundry.
You're doing
I would be happy if he has a desire and time to wash up once in a while. That would be great, but it's not something which will make us, like fight or make me upset about him or something like that.
Exactly.
Because we are used to that here. I mean, like, I saw my father washing up dishes maybe twice in my life. So that's okay for me.
That was on 8th of March. On the
like that. Or my mom's birthday, something like that.
The gift for birthday. And the gift for birthday.
You know what? I wash up the dishes.
Yes.
Wow, ladies. Thank you for so much of your time and some great information. I hope you guys at home found it as informative as I did. Can I move now?
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Alex, I want to get a copy of the tape where I asked about the perfect mother, whiz in the kitchen, sexy in the bedroom. When Susan said, "Oh yeah, I want that tape. I want that tape was proven later." She said, "Oh yeah."